The following episode of the Top Gun Show is being provided for the sales partners of Nexus as yet another valuable tool to help your customers make informed decisions. Enjoy. Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today, I'd like to welcome Tony Poer, the Channel Solutions Consulting Lead at 8x8, the sponsor of the Top Gun Show. Tony has held sales engineering, leadership, and contact center positions at companies such as TDI, Oasis, and Mitel before joining 8x8 over 4 years ago. He leads the Global Channel Solutions Consulting practice at 8x8 by providing insights on best practices and industry trends across CCaaS, CX, and EX. Tony, welcome to the Top Gun Show.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Glad to have you on, man. You sound like a smart guy. You're gonna pour it out right here. Let's talk contact center. What are some current trends right now, and why are they top of mind for business owners and managers?
Well, there are a lot of different technology trends and buzzwords that get a lot of attention right now. Things like AI and machine learning and analytics. Those are all really hot topics, and they probably will be for the foreseeable future. Those are all pretty straightforward and easy to address, but the stuff that I see most consistently is a little bit more complex, and it's on the human resources side. Attrition is incredibly high. The industry average is a little over 40% right now. And finding qualified or frankly, even unqualified agents to fill those gaps is getting harder and harder. So you've got to hire people, train them, and then convince them not to leave a job where, depending on the role, they're probably getting yelled at by customers all day. And then they need the technology to be able to do all this from home at the drop of a hat in case there's an ice storm or say, a global pandemic. So things like AI and machine learning can help to mitigate all this. You can automate processes, you can simplify the agent experience. And with a cloud-based platform like 8x8, you can have the entire workforce enabled remotely, including all of your back office team. But you can't overlook training and coaching tools or any applications that are designed to make the agent's life a little bit easier. At the end of the day, customers are still asking, how can I do more with less from anywhere? But the agent experience is crucial to all that. That's the biggest thing that I see.
Very nice. That's a great answer, man. I'm so glad you're sponsoring. I got my shirt on, my cup, everything here. So let me ask you like a CCaaS question. How has recent technology radically changed CCaaS services being offered by the providers of contact center solutions?
Great question. The availability of really user-friendly artificial intelligence has streamlined what we can do from an automation standpoint. Customers overwhelmingly would rather self-serve as their first point of contact now. And the technology is kind of at a point where pretty much anybody, even smaller mom and pop shops, can offer personalized automated engagements with natural language processing for things like voice bots or chat bots. And in the old days, like 10 years ago, a good customer experience meant we want a human to answer the call within 30 seconds. But today, customer experience means I want to get my question answered or my interaction resolved on the first attempt via whatever channel I want, whenever I want. And artificial intelligence is a big driver to make that happen. It's also really, really valuable as a business intelligence tool, especially when you leverage it for things like speech analytics and sentiment analysis. It's obviously a really great coaching tool. We talked about attrition. It's a great tool to help mitigate some of that. But I can also use speech analytics to find those calls where my agents are struggling, so on and so forth. And then I can use it to look for trends in customer behavior across my interactions. So at 8x8 in particular, we can provide it for both voice-based interactions as well as text-based transactions. And then I can use those tools to drill in and be able to say things like, oh, hey, we've got a ton of customers that are calling in or chatting in, and they've got questions about completing a purchase on the website. And then we can take that a step further and figure out why, and then try to prescribe a solution. And at the same time, you can find out if your customers ever mention your competition, if they're using language that would, be indicative of churn, if your agents are sticking to the script, and so on and so forth. So again, compare that to the old days. You'd be relying on disposition codes or result codes, maybe post-call surveys, which have really, really low acceptance rate, just to get that kind of info. So AI has opened up so many more opportunities for customers to gain insight and then really offer a world-class experience every single time.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I would also add that it's come down the stack customer size wise too. I mean, used to be these tools were only available in the old days, as you say, to 200, 500 seat contact center users. Right. Now, 2, 3, 4, 5 seat users can get these kinds of analytics with 8x8.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What makes the 8x8 contact center platform stand out in a very, very crowded field of competitors?
Yeah, great question. I mean, there's a ton of competitors out there, right? We're pretty unique in that, in addition to our CCaaS solution, we've also got an integrated solution for UCaaS as well as CPaaS. And we're calling that Experience Communications as a Service, or XCaaS. We've got a single platform of engagement, which means your contact center agents live in the same world as your back office team and your knowledge workers. Now, historically, these have been kind of independent data silos of information, and we're blurring that line. So with 8x8, you're getting a world-class UC solution. We were just named leaders in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for the 10th year in a row. I think that's longer than anybody else. We're also in the Magic Quadrant for Contact Center for the 7th year in a row. So having a single platform, a single vendor, a single system for engagement, security, and integrations, all of that adds a ton of value. And then on top of that, our contact center was the first to be certified by Microsoft for Teams. And we're also one of the first contact centers to be Google Chrome Enterprise certified. So while you can have our contact center as a standalone point solution, I look at it more as being a great fit for the entire organization. And I think that smart companies are looking for holistic solutions, because a good contact center should not exist in a vacuum.
Drop the mic, man. That was well said. That was well said. Well, hey, I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun Show, and that I know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now. Why don't you tell the viewers a fun little known fact about yourself?
So I don't know if you guys can see the room behind me. I've got a few musical instruments back here. I think at last count, there was 15 guitars, 4 or 5 different keyboards, a bunch of different amplifiers. I've got a drum kit. I've been a professional musician for about 20 years. I've played in multiple bands. I've played shows all over the West Coast. And now I get to sit in my little hermit cave in Flagstaff, Arizona, and hang out with my family. And then every once in a while, I get to talk about contact centers.
Very nice. Part-time job, 8x8. I love it. I love it. Well, Tony, hey, thanks so much for being a guest on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Great to be here.
Thanks for watching, everybody.